Hey everyone, thanks for joining. My name's Bruce Chung. Today I'll be guiding you through an accessible flow practice which is suitable for beginners. Let's get started in a child's pose. Move towards the back part of your mat, let the big toes touch, and we'll separate the knees as wide as our yoga mat. Walk the hands forward, and then let the elbows soften as your forehead comes to rest on the floor. So as you find yourself in child's pose, if your head is not touching the ground, you could slide one hand underneath the other. If you find that your head is still suspended in the air, you might stack one fist over the other. Give yourself another few moments to settle into Balasana, child's pose. Feel the space of your abdomen, the space of your rib cage, growing heavier into the floor between your thighs. Shift your awareness to your breath. See if you're able to breathe more deeply. Making sure that the breath in is as long as the breath out. Bringing equal length to both sides of your breath. Using this child's pose as a way to establish both equal and deep breath. Let's stay here for about 3 more. Slowly begin to lift your head. Look at the space between your hands and bring your body forward into table pose. So when you come to tabletop pose, the knees, look at them, they're under the hips. Then look at your hands and bring them underneath the shoulders. Specifically, the wrists are under the shoulders. First fingers are parallel towards each other. So if that requires you to turn your hands more outwards, go ahead and do that. And then we're going to start by exhaling completely in our tabletop pose. Lift the belly button up. With your following inhalation, begin to curl your tailbone towards the sky while lifting the chest and opening the throat. We call this cow pose. Arms are straight. Exhale, round your spine towards cat. Elbows are still straight. Push the floor away from you. Repeating that, inhale, lifting the tailbone towards the sky. Although the abdomen is lowering, keep lifting the navel, look forward, pull the chest between the arms. And then exhale, round your back. Feeling that you can draw the back part of your spine higher towards the sky, pushing the floor away from you even more. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, curl the tailbone up. Look towards the front part of the room. And then pause here in your cow pose, pushing through your hands. And while your elbows are straight, pull the wrists towards the knees and feel like your knees can also pull forward towards the wrists. Take another breath. Exhale, round your spine towards cat pose, and then same idea, pause. Pushing into the hands so much that the elbows straighten, the shoulder blades widen. And then with your hands, this time start pulling, or can I say pushing your yoga mat forward, while the knees are pulling the yoga mat back. See if you can feel more space between each vertebra. And then slowly move towards tabletop pose, look forward. Walk your hands out in front of you towards Anahatasana, Heart opening pose, sometimes called puppy pose. Look at your hands, make sure they're shoulders distance. Push into your hands so the forearms are lifting. Don't let the forearms drop. What you can begin to soften is the head and also the center part of your chest. So here we start working with two opposing actions. The actions being the arms lifting one way, while your head and chest move the other. This will help to create a bit more stability around your shoulders while also focusing on opening up through the upper spine. Maybe your forehead touches, maybe it's the chin. Just take another breath, feel your belly button lifting, maybe draw the buttock bones higher. Now push into the hands a lot so your chest and head begin to lift from the floor. And then walk your hands towards you, only this time let the wrists stay slightly forward of your shoulders. Tuck the toes under. Look forward as you breathe in, perhaps a mild cow pose. Exhale, press your buttocks towards the feet. Use your hands to push your hips towards the heels. Inhale. As you exhale, begin lifting the knees and pushing the backs of the knees towards the space behind you, your first down dog. Okay, allow the feet to come a little bit closer together so they're around hips distance apart. And then you can start to pedal through your heels. So right heel is pushing into the floor, the leg is straight while left leg bends. Then left heel pushes into the floor, the leg straighten, the right leg bends. Each time you straighten through your leg, really feel that you can push the heel down while pressing the thigh back. Feel into the back of your calf, the back of the ankle, maybe even down the back part of your thigh. Okay, allow both of your heels to root. And then let both of the heels rise. So we're standing high on the balls of the feet. Bend your knees towards the belly, towards the chest. And as you're doing this, continue to press with your hands so your abdomen is able to connect with your thighs. Take another inhalation here, tailbone higher. Exhale, re-straighten the legs, down dog. Look towards your hands and begin stepping your feet all the way forward towards your hands. At some point, you may need to lift the hands in order for your feet to step in between. Once you're there, look straight ahead, lengthen the spine, and then exhale to forward fold. Okay, do that again. Inhale into what we call Ardha Uttanasana, Ardha half. Uttanasana, intense stretch pose. And then exhale, bowing into that Uttanasana. We'll do that one more time. Breathe in, open the chest, forward through the crown of your head. Exhale, bow. Here, bring your hands to hold on to the opposite elbows. You could also hold on to the forearms or perhaps even the wrists. For about 3 more breaths, allow the whole of your upper body to dangle. Feel that you can be heavy. The weight of your arm bones, the weight of your head sinking down and towards the floor. Last breath. Release your hands down onto the earth. And then think about your spine having 24 bones, 24 vertebrae. See if you can stack one over the other without rushing. Keeping the whole of your body rounded as it moves towards straight. You allow the chest to open before the throat to open before lifting the head, and then roll the shoulders up, back, and then down. Find Tadasana with your palms facing forward. We'll keep our feet about hips distance apart. Take a moment here in your Tadasana. Close your eyes. And feel that you're equally pushing down through the 4 corners of each foot. Take another breath here. Open your eyes and then inhale, reach your arms all the way up over your head. Remember to stay connected to that breath. Fold forward, exhale. Look forward, inhale. With your exhale, big step back with your left foot. Okay, take your hands and frame your right leg, your right foot. The knee is bending while the back leg straightens. On the tips of the fingers, look forward and feel like the crown of the head reaches forward, as does the center of your heart. With the hands flat, step to downward dog. Push back through your thighs. Now slide your body forward towards a high plank pose. Make sure your shoulders are above the wrists, much like they would be in tabletop pose. Your heels more or less are above the toes. Now lower onto the knees. As you do so, keep lifting the belly button up. In fact, let's all think of dumping through our low back, almost like cow pose here, right? Now draw the navel in and gently push through your hands so your shoulder blades are more neutral on your upper back. Then take the heart forward. Heart is going slightly forward of your thumbs, and then bend your elbows about 45 degrees. Stay here and feel like the belly button is still lifting, the heart is still drawing forward, and then with control, lower all the way down onto your mat. Point the toes. Make sure your hands are on either side of the chest. We'll lightly push through our hands, inhaling into what we call Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Take pause as your elbows firm in and the shoulders draw back. Downward dog, exhale. Stay there, breathe in. Push back through your thighs, breathe out. Look towards your hands and step your right foot forward, and then step your left foot forward. Look to the horizon for length. And with your exhalation, take a bow. We're going to rise into standing, reaching the arms up over the head. Inhale, look up. And with your exhalation, take hands to prayer, then release your arms down, Tadasana. Stretch your arms over your head, breathe in, look high. And then exhale, forward fold, hands to either sides of the feet. With your breath in, Ardha Uttanasana, that's an extension of the spine, look forward. With your exhale, big step back, right foot. Leave the knees straight, come up onto the tips of the fingers. The hands are roughly lined with that front foot. Now feel like your heel is pushing back while the chest and head are drawing forward. Come back to this idea that we're working with two opposing actions. Then with your hands flat, step to downward dog, exhale completely. Inhale forward to plank. Shoulders are above your wrists, look at the hands. Make sure here that you're not dumping through your body. Lift the belly button and soften through the ribs. Place your knees lightly onto the floor without letting your stomach drop. Bring your heart towards the front edge of your mat and then bend your elbows 45 degrees, take pause. If you have the ability to bend your elbows towards 90 degrees, go there and then hold. Tailbone lengthens back, belly button in. With control, come to lie down. Point your toes. And then Bhujangasana, the chest not only lifts, but it also pushes forward. Downward dog, exhale completely. Okay, stay where you are, full inhale. Push back through your thighs, full exhale. Look towards your hands. When you step the left foot forward, come up onto the left fingertips. That will give you space. Then step your right foot forward. Look to the horizon, breathe in. And then exhale to fold over your legs. Reach all the way to the sky, lifting both of your arms. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Release your arms to Tadasana. Take pause as you take a full breath in and a full exhale. Stretch your arms up. Inhale deep. And exhale to fold. Half lift. With your exhale, big step back, left foot. This time we'll lower our left knee onto the floor, and then inhale, place both of our hands on top of this right thigh. Excuse me. Straighten the front knee a little bit so that your back hip is more or less on top of the back knee. And then I want you to think of the tailbone, that's the very base of your spine, pointing down towards the floor. So you're actively going to lift the hip bones towards the stomach. Now keep the hip bones lifting into the stomach as you re-bend into the front leg. You might feel your left quadriceps and your left hip even more. And then with your belly button in, lift both of your arms up into the sky, Anjaneyasana. Then lower your hands down onto the yoga mat. Lift your back knee up. Inhale, take your right arm forward and then circle to the right. Open twist or easy twist. Look towards your thumb. Pushing firmly through your left hand. Allowing your back thigh to lift higher. Then right hand to the floor as you step to high plank. Now from the high plank pose, take the body forward by coming onto the tips of your toes. Keep your elbows straight. Hug the belly button in. Here. Can you bend your elbows to 45 degrees? Could you bend your elbows towards 90 degrees? End up lying down on the floor. And with your toes pointing back, inhale, Bhujangasana, Cobra. Open the chest. Downward dog. Exhale. Stay as you are. Breathe in. Breathe out. And look towards your hands. Right foot forward, come to fingertips. Left foot forward, maybe come to fingertips. Push the butt back, chest forward. Exhale, fold. Keep following with your breath. Inhale, rise to the sky, lift both of your arms. Exhale, hands to prayer. Release your hands to Tadasana. Then reach up into the sky. Inhale deep. Forward fold, belly button in. Try to connect with the pattern of your breath in to lift the chest. Of the breath out, right foot back. The right knee meets the floor. Our hands come to the thigh. And then straighten the front leg a little bit. So in other words, when your front leg straightens, the pelvis draws back. With the pelvis back, let's go hands to hips. It might be helpful for you to lift the hip bones up into the stomach. Keep the action of pelvis relatively neutral and then re-sink or re-bend into the front leg and stretch your arms up into the air. So feel the tailbone is rooting south, but the heart is lifting high. Lower your hands to the floor, lift your back knee up. Take your left hand towards the front and then twist, open your chest to the left and look up and towards the sky, perhaps gazing at your left thumb. Look down, left hand down, high plank pose, and then take pause. Come forward onto the tip of your toes, and then bend your elbows again, 45 degrees. If you can support the weight of your body, perhaps even more, 90. Collarbones are wide. Lower to the floor, toes pointing back, and then with the breath in, open your chest, Bhujangasana, Cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Stay where you are, breathe in. Push through your hands, breathe out. Again, inhaling deep. Thigh bones back, breathe out. Look towards your hands. Come up onto your left fingertips, left foot forward. Step your right foot forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Reach all the way to the sky. Inhale, lift your arms, look up. And then exhale, hands to prayer. Release your arms to Tadasana. Take a moment and close your eyes. Feel into your breath. Also observe what has shifted within you. Maybe the temperature of your core has gone higher. You might feel a light, or maybe not so light, but a rapid beating of your heart. Exhale completely. And then open your eyes as we stretch the arms over your head. Breathe in. And then fold forward, Uttanasana. See if you can bring your heart closer to the thighs and your face towards the calves. Look forward, inhale. Exhale, left foot stepping back. Lower your back knee to the floor. The same idea of us curling the tailbone forward as our arms lift into the sky, Anjaneyasana. Bring your hands to the floor, lift your back knee up, and then stretch your right arm forward as you open the chest, twist the right arm towards the sky. See if you can turn a little bit more. Then look down at your yoga mat, right hand onto the floor. Look at your back heel, spin it flat so that your left toes are pointing to roughly 9 o'clock. Take your left hand underneath your thigh and grab a hold of your right buttock. Gently pull the hip so it's behind the heel. When you let go of your left hand, keep the hips firm. Stretch your left arm up into the air. Parshva Konasana, side angle pose. If this is too hard for you to keep your right hand on the floor, place your right elbow on the thigh. If your right elbow is on the thigh, your palm can face up. Make sure not to dump into the shoulder, but to push the elbow against the forearm so there's space between your ribs and the arm bone. Let's turn the top palm to face forward. Stretch the arm over the ear. Look down, left hand to floor, right hand to the floor. Step to high plank pose. Come forward onto the tips of your toes. Bend your elbows a little bit, or to 90 degrees, chaturanga, and then end up on your yoga mat. Point the toes, and then with your breath in, curl your chest, Bhujangasana Cobra. Here, think of hugging the inner heels a little closer together. Downward dog, exhale. If you need a child's pose, you can go there. Inhale wherever you are. Exhale, complete. If you're in child's pose, reconnect with us in down dog. Now allow your heels to lift. Look forward, bend your knees, and then step to the front part of your yoga mat, lifting through the chest. Forward folding, exhale again, chest to knees, face towards the shin bones. Rise all the way to the sky, Urdhva Hastasana, we call that upward hands. Exhale, hands to Namaskar, release your hands to Dasana. Reach up once again, inhale, look high. Forward fold, exhale, hands to earth. Half lift, breathe in. Exhale, right foot back, lower the knee. And as you inhale, reach your arms up, Anjani Asana. Your hands meet the earth, back knee straightens. Take your left arm forward and then open your chest, twist, look to the sky. Then look down at the floor, place your left hand onto the earth. Spin your back heel down so that in this case, your right toes point to about 3 o'clock, perhaps somewhere between 2 and 3 o'clock. With your right hand, reach underneath your thigh and place your palm on your left glute. Then very gently, lightly pull the hip so that it ends up somewhat behind the left knee. Keep the hip firming in, bend your front leg deeper as you stretch the right arm up towards the sky. Now for some of you right away, maybe left forearm is more suitable to rest on the thigh. You would do that if it felt quite tight or difficult to breathe. And then if your left elbow is resting on the thigh, push against the leg so as to lift your body up and out of the arm bone. Look at your top palm. Turn it towards the front of the space. Stretch the arm over the ear. Look down at the floor, right hand down, left hand down. High plank pose, step back. Come onto the tips of the toes. Inhale, belly button in. Exhale, bend your elbows to 45 or possibly 90 or end up on the floor. Come down if you're not there yet. Point the toes. Inhale, cobra, chest lifts, shoulders back. Downward dog, exhale. Inhale where you are. Push through your hands, thighs back, breathe out. Feel long in your body, inhale. Connect with the lift of the belly button, exhale. Take another breath in, lift your forearms up. Exhale, feel your outer shoulders wrapping down. Lift the heels, look forward. Bend your knees and step towards the top part of your space. Find length to the spine, look forward. Exhale, bowing in, face to the shin bones. Rise into the sky, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, look up. Exhale, hands to Namaskar. Release your hands, Tadasana. Full breath in. Full breath out. Look down at the feet. Let's not join, but let's rather separate the feet to hips distance if they're not yet there. Then begin to bend your legs, thinking of the buttocks in line with the knees, and then allow the fingertips to touch the floor. If you can, in fact, can you let the middle fingertips graze the ground? Then bring your arms forward, lift them towards the sky, Utkatasana chair pose. Look down at your feet and notice the distance of them. Make your knees as wide as your ankles, stay firm in the legs. Feel like you're actually using the outer part of your thighs, the outer part of your hips, as a way to keep the knees the same distance as the ankles. Draw the buttocks back, lift your heart forward, find more length through your arms. Exhale, forward fold. We'll take a couple of moments to settle, release any tension in the legs. And then look halfway forward, inhale. Exhale, left foot back. This time, we will keep the back knee lifted, the back knee straight. Think of your right hip pulling back. So that same idea of firming the hip behind the knee whilst bending the front leg deeper. Rise with both of your arms into a high crescent lunge. Place both hands on your outer hips. And then gently with your exhalation, squeeze your outer hips towards each other and feel the energetic action of the midline of your body. Feel into the inner thighs as you reach your arms up once again. We're going to fold our bodies about halfway forward and then sweep the arms along the sides. I know some of you will be feeling quite a bit of work in the legs, so connect with your breath. Allow the breathing to support you in any challenge that you're facing. Hands down onto the earth, directly to downward dog. Lift your right leg towards the sky. See how much higher you're able to lift that right thigh up. Then look towards your hands. Bring the right knee towards your right wrist. Open the hip, finding your way into pigeon pose. Slide your back knee away from the front heel, lift your chest, and then fold forward. So coming down onto the forearms, or for some of you, perhaps coming to rest your head on the floor. So this is a little bit of an interlude, let's call it, where you're able to recalibrate your breath, while also finding a bit of release in your right hip. Something that we've been working quite a bit so far in our class, finding stability in our lunges. So while you're here, can you feel a softening of the pelvis, but an active drawing back of your outer right thigh, almost like you're rolling it down towards the floor. Take another breath here. Place both hands to your mat. Inhale, lift the chest, and step into downward dog. Exhale, perhaps walk it out. Walking it out, meaning pedaling through the heels. And then inhale forward towards your plank pose. With your abdomen in and the legs firm, bend your elbows and with control, lower all the way down onto your mat. Once there, the arms straighten. We'll turn our palms to face the earth. And then with the feet rooting into the ground, inhale, lift the chest, lift the arms. Allow the back line of your arms to lift higher. The throat stays neutral with the back of the neck. So instead of looking at the space in front of you, gaze down at your yoga mat. Can you find more connection to all 10 toenails? Push to feel your heart rise higher. Come down to the floor, release, exhale completely. Place your hands on either side of your chest. Find Balasana, child's pose, knees wide and toes together. In your child's pose, inhale. Exhale. Lift your chin, look forward. Keep your buttocks towards the feet, but use your fingertips to walk the hands forward enough that your arms straighten and the forearms lift. From there, hands stay rooted, shoulders distant. Bring your heart forward and then tuck the toes. Down dog, exhale. Now look towards your hands. Right foot next to the right thumb. Left foot next to the left thumb. Look forward for length. Exhale, bowing. Rise all the way to the sky. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, upward hands pose. Exhale, hands to Namaskar. Release your hands standing tall, Tadasana, mountain pose. Bend your knees, thighs almost parallel to the earth. If possible, middle fingertips touch the ground. Stretch your arms forward and lift the chest, lengthen the arms. Take your pelvis and move it back, sit it deeper, look down at your feet. Notice the distance between your ankles. Make sure the knees are roughly the same distance, the same width. And then through the tips of the fingers, lengthen the whole sides of your body. Stretch back slightly through your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, hands to earth, face to shins. Look forward for that lengthening of Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, right foot stepping back. Okay, we're keeping the back knee straight, the front one bending, and then rise towards high crescent lunge. So with the back leg straight in high crescent lunge, you'll work a lot harder through the legs, but because we're on the ball of the back foot, it is also a balancing pose. Allow your tailbone to lengthen south. Take both hands to the hips like we did before and lightly push the hands in to your outer hips and notice a deeper connection, or shall I say the coming online of your right inner thigh. Inhale, reach your arms over the head once again. Fold about halfway forward and reach the arms along the sides of you, palms facing the earth. Belly is lifting away from the thigh, the ribs soften in. Hands to your yoga mat, slide your left leg to the sky, three-legged downward facing dog. So sweep that left leg up. Push into the hands so both of your elbows are straight. And although the legs are separated, think of hugging them into the midline, just like you did in the high crescent lunge. Look forward, knee towards the left wrist, lightly landing your pigeon pose, slide your right leg back. So to be efficient, you're able, maybe not necessarily able, but you want to see if you're able, the English language, pulling the right knee back a touch more. And then walk your hands forward, coming onto the forearms, or perhaps elbows wide as you lower your head down. So what I like to work with sometimes in pigeon pose is an inner rotation of the back thigh. So if you tuck your back toes, hover the knee, and then rotate the outer hip down and feel like the inner thigh is drawing upwards to the sky. You might also work a bit more with your outer left hip. In this case, working the outer left thigh back, almost like I was holding your thigh and lightly pulling it to the back part of the space. Can you imagine that and create that feeling in your body? Take another breath. And lift your head, look forward. Bring your hands towards that front leg. Down dog, left foot back. Inhale forward towards plank. Exhale with control, lower your body all the way down onto the earth. Arms along the sides of us. Palms facing up. Take a full breath. And then inhale, lift your thighs, your chest, and your arms. Your hands most certainly have the range or the movement to rise higher than the shoulders perhaps, but keep lifting the fronts of the shoulders, connect with the shoulder blades drawing towards the inner edges of the spine. The knees are straight, reach back through the toes, and see if you're able to lift the front of the thighs higher. Hold here, breathe in. Exhale, release. Inhale here. Long exhale. Hands to either side of the chest. Balasana, knees wide, toes together. As best as you can, find that you're passive in the child's pose. Keep your hips where they are. Simply lift the chin, look forward. Walk your hands, shoulders distance apart. Then use your fingertips to walk your hands away from the shoulders so your elbows straighten and the forearms hover. Keep pushing the buttocks to the heels. Then move your heart towards the space of the thumbs, tuck the toes, push to down dog. 2 more breaths. Work the thighs back. Inhale. Connect with navel in. Okay, let the heels lift, look forward, and take big steps towards the front. Half lifting and forward folding. Let's rise all the way into the sky. Inhale, lift the arms, perhaps reaching slightly back. Exhale, hands to prayer. Gaze towards the tips of the fingers. You'll inhale. Exhale, release your hands. Draw your right knee up. We're moving into Vrikshasana tree pose. Grab onto the ankle and place the sole of the foot along your left inner thigh. If you're unable to lift it so high, you can most certainly rest it on the left calf. If it happens to be on the knee, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. Just make sure there's no discomfort in the knee. If you experience any discomfort, take the right foot, I should say, a touch lower. Then when you're feeling steadier and balanced, you will bring your hands together in Namaskar. So your right foot is possibly pushing into the left leg so much that your left hip is sinking to the left side of your mat. So think of your left hand, like we did in the crescent lunge, lightly pushing into the outer hip, bringing more stability into the pelvis, and firing up the glute. Specifically your glute med, I believe. Keep lifting through the crown of your head and lengthening upwards through your heart center. Now, either keep your hands together here or inhale, reach the arms up into the sky, growing taller through your tree. Sometimes thought of as the arms as branches of the tree growing high into the sky. Hands come back towards prayer position and release your right foot down. Release your hands. Bring your left knee up. Open the hip, grabbing your ankle and placing the foot, again, like before. Ideally, you want it to be balanced, as in placing the foot where it was on your first side. But if for whatever reason you're unable to do that, let it rest where it needs to be. Tailbone lengthening down, hands together in prayer. So again, just imagine your right hand is on this outer hip, lightly pushing it in. It's very subtle, but press your outer hip towards the heel. Feel the action of hugging into the midline. Keep the right sole of your foot rooting. Most definitely your hands can stay touching. If you're exploring a bit more of your balance or challenging your balance, that is the lift of the arms. And as your arms rise higher, perhaps hug in through the sides of your waist. Allow the sides of your waist to cinch in towards the navel, middle fingertips higher. Bring your hands together in Namaskar and release left foot to the floor. Look down at the feet. They're about hips distance apart as we stand up tall in our Tadasana. Staying here, full breath in. Full breath out. Utkatasana, chair pose. Remember, sit low, perhaps middle fingers graze the floor, lift the chest and the arms, and then touch the floor, forward fold. Look forward for length, inhale. Exhale with your left foot, step back. Okay, your left knee stays straight. We'll rise into high crescent lunge. Bring your hands together in prayer. Fold halfway forward and then twist to the right. So hook your left elbow outside of the knee and look down at your right foot. So looking down at the right big toe will help you to find a bit more stability, a bit more balance. Okay, keep hugging your outer right hip in, keep lifting the back thigh. And as you feel steadier, perhaps gazing towards your right or even over your right shoulder. Keep the elbow pressing into the leg to help you twist. Now look down at the floor, untwist, and then rise into high crescent lunge. The chest lift, the arms rise. As your hands meet the floor, find downward dog, right leg up towards the sky. See if you can lift the leg higher than you did before. Look forward, and this time step directly, lift the right fingertips between your hands. Spin your back heel down. Remember the firming of your outer right hip in behind the heel, and then rise into warrior two. Look over your front middle finger. Exhale, lunge deep. Take another breath. And inhale, reach forward to your right arm. Start with the elbow resting on the thigh as we did before, left arm up. If you would like to experiment with bringing your hand down, try that. Come onto the fingertips. Some of you may even be able to have the hand flat. Wherever you are, find a little twist, opening your chest to the left, perhaps even to the sky. Watch that left palm face forward and stretch the arm over the ear. Imagine one long line from the outer back heel towards your left middle fingertip. If your arm is on the inside of the leg, squeeze it into the leg. Look down. Left hand to the floor, right hand to the floor. Downward dog. Exhale. Long exhale. Inhale forward. And then take your time with strength, lower with control. Once you lie down, arms straight. Bring your hands behind your back. Interlock the fingers with your right thumb on top. Squeeze between the wrists. Straighten your elbows, lift the fists, lift the chest, and then perhaps lift your thighs. Allow your inner thighs to come in a little bit closer. For anyone resting their fists on the buttocks, lift the forearms higher. One more breath. Come slowly down. Hands to either side of your chest. Downward dog when you're ready. Look towards your hands, lift the heels, bend your knees, and step towards the front of your mat. Feet are around, hips distance, look straight ahead. And then exhale, forward fold. Chest to knees, face towards the shins. Rise into the sky. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach back. Exhale, Namaskara, Tadasana. Utkatasana, bend your legs, lift your arms. Exhale, forward fold. Look forward for length. On your exhale, right foot stepping back. Leave the knees straight. Rise into high crescent lunge. Hands together in prayer. Fold about halfway forward. Twist to the left. Right elbow outside of the left knee. Keep looking at your left big toe to start, especially if you feel already your balance being challenged. If you look down at the foot and notice one area wanting to lift, push down through it. So for example, my inner left foot lifts quite a bit, so I'll focus on pushing through the ball of the foot. Make sure you're not resting on the leg. Push your elbow against the thigh so as to lift the right rib cage away from the floor. Keep bending the front knee deep. Untwist, lift your arms above your head, high crescent pose. Hands to the earth, three-legged downward dog. Stretch that left leg up into the sky. Take a full breath here. Left thigh higher. Look forward and be light or soft with your step. Warrior two, spin the back foot down. So if you look at your back foot, this time it's between 2 and 3 o'clock. Remember the left hip here, the front hip, instead of letting it sway to the left, pull it directly behind the front heel. Warrior two to rise up. Arms are spreading wide. Allow the tailbone to lengthen down. The lower part of your ribs softening into the upper abdominals. And then as your outer back foot roots, you're seeing if you can find more depth into the front thigh. Reach forward through your left arm. Elbow resting on the thigh to start, right arm towards the sky. You're more than welcome to keep your left arm where it is, or perhaps reach towards the floor. Okay, let's say you try to reach and it's not quite happening. Today, then you say, that's fine, I tried, and I let the forearm rest on the thigh instead. Nothing wrong with that. Turn the palm to face forward. Stretch that arm over the ear. And then feel into your pelvis. Continue to lengthen your tailbone to the back heel, while top arm stretches towards perhaps the top of the wall at the front of your yoga mat. Look down, right hand to the floor, left hand to the floor, down dog, exhale. Inhaling, exhaling, and then forward to high plank. Lower all the way towards the earth. Arms are straight along the sides of us. Reach the hands behind the back, interlock the fingers. This time it is your left thumb on top. Feet can be hips distance. You could walk them closer. And then inhale, lift your chest, lift your thighs up. Shalavasana, locust pose. As best as you can, press the pubic bone into the floor while drawing the legs back and lifting the thighs higher. Can you connect with the shoulder blades, coming even a touch closer towards the spine? Take another breath, rise. Exhale, lower. Stay there, breathe in. Breathe out. Hands to either side of your chest. If you would like a child's pose, go there. You can, of course, go directly into downward dog pose. If you're in child's pose, slowly make your way to down dog. It's our last downward dog of our practice today. And look towards your hands, lift the heels, bend your knees, and take big steps forward towards the front part of your mat. Lift halfway. Exhale, grab the backs of your legs, and then forward fold. The ribs to the thighs, the nose between the calves. Lift your buttock bones. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, hands to hips, and with the heart leading, rise all the way up. Stretch your arms, hands to heart. Gaze down at the tips of your thumbs, then close your eyes. Take 2 more breaths. And then open your eyes, release your hands. Find chair pose. From your chair pose, you're going to bend your legs a lot more. Bring your hands down onto the floor. Let your hands touch the ground or even hold onto the front of your mat. Perhaps hands come behind you so that you can sit. Straighten both of your legs. Let's take our right sole against our left thigh. And then turn your body towards your left leg. So the left hand is to the left of the hip on the ground. We'll inhale, lift the right arm up. Exhale, fold over your leg and grab, if you can, the outside of your foot. Here, you can bend your knee, or if you have a strap, use the strap. Inhale. Exhale, bend your right arm and fold. Okay, don't be too concerned if your fold looks like you're still upright. Focus on your pelvis drawing back in space and your belly reaching towards your left thigh. Keep holding the foot, look forward, inhale. Exhale, release the leg, sit up straight. Take this right knee, lift it, sole flat. Then place the sole of the foot to the left of your leg. Option 1 is to keep your left leg straight. There will be some of you who can bend the knee and place the heel to the right of the pelvis. As you do this, work to make sure that you're fairly level through your hips. You feel that both of your buttock bones are pushing down. If you feel like this right hip lifts quite a bit, then do keep your front leg straight. All right? Then right hand comes behind your back, and then hook the left elbow outside of your right thigh. Can you start looking over your right shoulder? And then untwist, face the front, unwrap your arms, and release. Both legs straight. Right leg forward, left sole in. Okay, allow your right hand to meet the floor outside of the hip, and we'll stretch our left arm up into the air. Inhale. Exhale, reach for the outside of the foot. Remember, there are options. You could bend the knee in order to grab the foot, or if you have a strap handy, use that. Otherwise, you are physically holding the foot. Inhale, lift. Exhale, gently turn to the right. Inhale a bit more. Exhale, belly towards your right thigh. You could even think of the sternum coming just outside of your right knee. Keep pushing back through your buttocks and drawing forward through the ribs. And then inhale, look forward. Exhale, release, sit up straight. Let go of your hands. Lift your left knee up, the sole of the foot touches down, and then you place the sole of the foot to the right of the leg. Do you remember the options of either the leg staying straight or bringing the right heel, in this case, to the left of your buttocks? Both of your sit bones are down on the earth. Left hand comes behind you. Take your right arm and place it outside of your left thigh. And then as you inhale, there's lift and there's length. As you exhale, there's a rotation to the left, and you're opening your heart towards the back of the space if possible. Additionally, think of your lower back rather lightly pushing forward into the stomach. And this will just help to maintain a sense or create a sense of length in the low back so it's not so much rounded in your twist. Release your twist, look forward. Unwrap your arms, hands to the floor, lean back, and then both legs straight. Okay? Take your hands under your seat and gently pull the flesh of your seat back. Okay? So feel like your sit bones, the buttock bones, are on the earth. Here, you can most certainly have your knees bent, or again, having a strap as an option. We're going to inhale, reach both of our arms up into the sky. Exhale, begin to fold halfway, and then can you take pause at that halfway mark? So remember when the hands were underneath the buttocks moments ago. Can you do the same, create the same feeling here? Lift the right hip, walk it back. Lift your left hip and walk it back. Now engage the belly, engage the thighs. Inhale, lengthen forward even more. And then exhale, grab onto the outsides of your feet. Breathe in to lengthen through the sides of your body. Think armpits lift away from top hip crests. Exhale, bend the elbows, heart towards the center of your thighs, maybe the knees. And perhaps some of you are bringing your face towards the calves. Now, of course, there will be some of you who, when you fold, are with your knees bent and your chest a little bit higher. So when I say chest a little bit higher, it is perhaps because you are focusing on minimizing the rounding of the low back, to feel that instead you're taking, like we did in the twist, the lower back pushing forward into the stomach. Wherever you are, take 2 more breaths. Keep your hands where they are, your chest where it is. Lift the chin, look forward. Exhale, lift the heart, and release your feet. If you need to take your feet, your whole body, slightly more forward, so that when you lie down on your back, your head is on your yoga mat. Legs together, right thigh in towards the chest. Hold the shin and squeeze the thigh to the belly. As best as you can, keep that left leg lightly pushing into the earth. Last breath. And let go of your right leg, left thigh towards your chest, hands on shin bone, pull in. And then let go of your left leg. Take both of your arms over your head, point the toes. And then release the feet as you slide your arms along the sides of your body. Take your chin towards the right shoulder, your chin towards the left. Perhaps do that again. And then once your head finds center, let it be heavy, slight tuck of the chin. Feel your breath. Take a long exhalation here. And then let go. Shavasana. Shavasana being corpse pose, our posture of repose. So let your body rest and relax. Allow it to surrender. And to the best of your ability, focus your attention on each breath. Allow your body to stay relaxed and heavy, but do bring your attention back. Feel your body as it's resting. Take your time as you move your toes and your fingers. And then allow your right arm to reach over your head. Bend both of your knees, and then we'll turn onto our right side. You can rest your head on the upper arm bone. And then keeping your eyes closed as you make your way up towards a comfortable seated position. Allow the sitting bones to widen. And then let your hands rest on your knees. Perhaps it's the forearms or the elbows that need to rest on the knees so they're more comfortable. And sit up straight. Let's join both of our hands together in prayer, reconnecting with our breath. Inhale. Softly from the mouth, exhale. And then gently bowing your head down. Honoring your practice in the same way that I honor each and every one of you. Namaste.